Lions fans, it is good to be back. We are 6 days away from the season opener in Kansas City. I know it's been a while since you heard from us. The last time that we were with you, we were talking about the draft and breaking down the draft, but now it's time to get back down to business as the season is less than a week away. Thank you for joining us here on the Lions Den podcast, the father and son podcast, where we talk about our Detroit Lions. Today, we want to talk about the roster that has been broke down, the 53-man roster and the practice squad roster. Son, can you see the screen pretty good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, shoot, let's just jump right into it and get right into it. Let's start with the 53-man roster, son. Let's start with the quarterbacks. As you can see on the screen, you see our two quarterbacks, Jared Goff, Teddy Bridgewater. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. We already knew Jared Goff was going to be the number one guy. I think it's a major improvement in the backfield. So, no, we don't have to be, honestly, we don't really have to be worried at all if Jared Goff goes down because really, I think Teddy Bridgewater can pretty much give us the same production. I'm not going to lie. So, I think we'll be just fine. I think it's a major improvement.
I would say too. I think Jared Goff coming into Ben Johnson's offense for the second year, I think he's going to be much improved. Give me some thoughts on Jared Goff's stats. I saw ESPN gave a breakdown of what they thought his season would be. What do you think Jared Goff's season is going to look like?
Did he reach 30 touchdowns last year? I would have to.
29.
Okay. 29 and what, like 5 interceptions?
And 11.
Geez, he had 11?
Yes, 11 interceptions.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I think maybe 32 and 7. I mean, listen, he's not a Matthew Stafford. Like, he's not like Matthew Stafford had like 40 touchdowns in the season or 45 or something. Like,
True,
I think,
true.
we're gonna have to still depend on Montgomery and Gibbs. So I think, I think maybe he'll have between 32 and 35 passing touchdowns, which is an improvement. Hopefully he can get the interceptions down. I thought it was lower than that because he went on that crazy streak, where he
Yes.
with interceptions.
I want to say, son, if I'm not mistaken, he threw those 11 interceptions in like the first 10 games.
Yeah, I had that, man.
And I think the last 8 games or 9, he didn't throw an interception.
Yeah, I remember we talked about last year. Some of that had to do with T.J. Hawkinson.
Absolutely, and I'm right there with you. Go ahead, no, finish. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. I was just saying that he did just recently get paid out by the Vikings, which I guess that's fair for him. That's good for him.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm right there with you. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 4,100 yards, 32 to 35 touchdowns, 31 to 35 touchdowns. I'm gonna go 10. I'm gonna go 10 interceptions.
Okay,
I think he'll be just slightly better than he was last year. Okay, let's move on to the running backs now. Craig Reynolds, as you're looking at here, son, he must have just got added to the active roster because if you remember when they did the roster, they only had 2 running backs and the fullback Kabinda on there. So now we see Craig Reynolds, Montgomery, Gibbs, Reynolds, Kabinda. What's your thoughts on the running backs?
Yeah, no, I think the running back room will be pretty good. I'm real interested to see how that's going to go in the first game. I'm sure I hope the rotation is mainly just Montgomery and Gibbs, though. I'm sure that's what it'll be. Unless they really are putting Gibbs at receiver that much, which I doubt.
I'm with you. I doubt that too. I think that Montgomery is going to be the hammer. He's going to be the guy that's going to come in and start the game. He's going to be probably the back that lean on a lot, but we know that he's going to be splitting carries with Gibbs, and Reynolds is just there, for insurance. Now, we're going to talk about this in a little bit when we talk about the practice squad, but there is a running back that I was surprised didn't make the team. We'll talk about that when we get to the practice squad. Kabinda is no surprise. The Lions like to have a fullback, and he's a pretty good fullback. Let's go with the wide receivers. We have 5 wide receivers, not counting the suspended Jameson Williams. What's your thoughts on the receivers that we're going into the season with?
This has kind of been Lions fashion for a while. We've always had, not exactly no-name receivers, but they've always had except for Calvin Johnson, they kind of always had mid-grade receivers, and they found a way to make them kind of good. Like, remember Marvin, what was that? Marvin Jones, Kenny Galladay, and Golden Tate. We haven't really heard their names since they were with the Lions, but they were really, really good. So, in my opinion, these receivers are, I mean, they're just okay, but
Right.
maybe Ben Johnson will be able to scheme it where they'll be able to, um, uh, be more of a deep threat. I mean, I see us throwing a lot of stuff underneath. I don't. We
Oh
just
yeah.
got to make sure that we're able to connect downfield, so teams can actually kind of be scared of that, I guess.
I'm gonna go back to something that you said when we talked about the draft, which is you were saying back then the Lions should have drafted a wide receiver. Right now, that is proven so true. Now, granted, they did draft Antoine Green. There's nothing wrong with that, but they drafted him in the seventh round.
Yeah.
They needed to get a receiver in like the second, third round, that type of a receiver. But with the receivers you see on the screen, two questions. Who do you think until Williams comes back is the number two, not saying that number two in targets, but the number two receiver? And what do you think St. Brown is going to do stat wise this season?
Uh, Man, I hope the number two receiver ends up being Marvin Jones. I mean, I guess he's getting up there in age. I guess you could debate that it's Khalif Raymond. Then, I mean, if I was these receivers, I'd be real excited because the number two spot's wide open. I mean, Antoine Green should be playing. I expect to see all of those receivers. So
Right.
I don't think it's
Likewise.
going to go to Josh. Geez, it could go to Josh Reynolds, but he can't catch sometimes. So, uh, man, I don't know. I mean, shoot, it honestly depends. It really could be any four of these guys. I mean, I could see Antoine Green popping off enough where he could be the number two receiver, to be honest, because it's not like he has some crazy competition.
I agree.
And
As
Amon St. Brown, and I'm sorry, he's another guy where I'd have to look up his stats so I can give some kind of comparison to last year. Did he have 1,000 receiving yards last
you
year?
know what? I should have pulled up their stats from last year. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to do that while we're talking. Eh,
Because Jared Goff, I had to put a little more respect on him. He did have like 4,500 yards last season. So I guess I'll say that he'll probably have like 4,800 this season. I'll give him some more respect.
Okay, I got you. You know what? I am going to pull up some of this so we can look at it and so we can see for ourselves.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I
you
could give you
know,
my answer on St. Brown now.
okay, let's see. Okay, that's not what I wanted.
I know he led the league in receptions. I'm pretty sure, or he at least was up there. Man, it's gonna be hard for him to beat. I'll say, I think he's gonna
Okay.
have another crazy season. I think he'll have 1,300 yards because I see that he had 1,100 this season, which I did not realize he even had 1,100. 11, like this dude is sneaky good because I mean, he had 1,100 yards and he averaged 11 yards a catch. I didn't realize he averaged that many yards a catch.
No, not at all. I'm okay. I'm confused. Wait a minute. I'm looking at the stats. This says that Jared Goff had 7 interceptions last season, not 11.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We had to put a little more respect on his name, guys. I was saying that. I was like, oh, geez.
Okay. Okay. All right.
But
So
he really went on that
rushing.
streak.
Oh yeah, we didn't give a prediction on running backs. I guess we could give a prediction on
Oh yeah,
running
I'd actually
backs.
give him a prediction. Yeah, I'll give him.
The leading rusher we know was Jamal Williams, 1,066 yards, 4.1 a carry, and 17 touchdowns, followed by Swift, who had 542. So let's double back real quick. What do you think Montgomery and Gibbs will do? Rushing.
I think it kind of all depends on what the coaches do. I mean, because DeAndre Swift, I mean, I'm not trying to compare him to Gibbs, but because he had 542 on limited carries, I feel like Gibbs could get 1,000 yards pretty easy if he can get through the whole season. But then again, we'll have to see how much I guess he's receiving. But no, man, I don't know because I already predicted that they both would get 100 yards each in the first game. So
Hmm.
uh, I think they're both going to be pretty far up there in the rushing numbers. One of them's going to break 1,000 for sure. I think they'll combine for about 2,000 yards, probably at least.
I could see that. I could see them getting very close to it. I could see that. I could even see the two of them having something like Montgomery having, I don't know, 850 yards with Gibbs with 700
Yeah.
if they use him right. But like you said, how many, is Gibbs going to be used as more of a swing man out of the backfield, or is he really going to be handling the rock? Now to the receiver, St. Brown. Here we go, son. St. Brown had 106 receptions last season for 1,161 yards and 6 touchdowns,
Mm-hmm.
11 yards average a catch.
Yeah.
The second most would have been Khalif Raymond with 47.
Oh, Khalif Raymond had 47 catches.
Yes,
Oh,
47 catches. That was the next person. So, what do you think? Let's talk about Williams too. What do you think? I know I'm going over 100 catches again for Amon St. Brown.
yeah,
I
me too. I think he'll have like 1,300 yards too.
I could see that, especially with Williams missing those first 6 games. I could see a very quiet 12, 1,300 yards. And what do you think Williams is going to do when he gets back?
Oh, I think he's gonna man. I think Jameson Williams will. You know, I don't want to talk too crazy. I mean, he'll have like 10 games. I think he can have like 700 yards pretty easy.
700 sounds good.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had like 7, 8 touchdowns. I'm not gonna lie. Well, like I said, we saw him in person, and
Yes,
Him and Justin Jefferson were probably some of the best receivers I've seen in person. They
in
were kind of
person.
at a different level. So, people are really down on Jameson Williams, and they're talking about who's going to be our number two. He's still the guy. Like, I'm sorry, if he's not the guy, the Lions are pretty screwed. He's the guy for sure. I think he's like some of the no, I mean he would have probably be the best receiver talent we got since Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, we definitely son haven't had a receiver this exciting in a long time. I mean, if anybody watched those preseason games, the fans were ecstatic every time Sudfeld was trying to throw the ball deep to Williams because that's what the fans wanted to see. They want to see Williams take the top off of the defense. So it is something to,
Yeah.
get excited about. Let's go with the tight ends. We have 3 tight ends: rookie Sam Laporta, Brock Wright, and James Mitchell. What's your thoughts?
Uh, I don't know. That's a hard prediction. Just because I do think Sam Laporta will play quite a bit, but the Lions are so weird with how they rotate all these tight ends in and out and stuff. So I think I I don't want to give a yards prediction, but I do think he'll get a few touchdowns though. Like
Yes.
I could see what's I don't know what's a lot for a tight end. I could see him pulling like 5 touchdowns in.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe
For
more than that because I have him predicted to get a touchdown against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I could also see him with in about that 42 to 47 catch range as well.
Yeah.
I could see that. I don't know. I have a good feeling about Sam Laporta. I think that he may have a surprisingly good season. The offensive line, we have 8 offensive linemen. I was kind of surprised that we only put 3 on the active roster other than the starters, but this is no surprise. We see, from left to right, Decker, Jackson, Ragnar, Big V, Vitae, and Sewell. And we see the backups right there. Rookie Sorsdal, made the active roster. What's your thoughts on the O line?
Oh, geez, excuse me. Mm. No, I don't think the O line is going to be a problem at all. We should
Right.
easily have a top 5 O line in the league. So
Yep, I agree.
that's
I
why I'm
agree.
so confident in Gibbs and Montgomery having such a good season.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is looking at the reserves, which one of those guys can play center? That's the only thing that kind of
Oh,
concerns me with those backups.
Graham Glasgow doesn't play center.
He's a
Is he like?
guard.
Oh,
He's a guard. Sorsdal is a swing. He could be a guard or a tackle. Nelson is really more of a tackle. I'm just curious if something happens to Ragnar, who's going to move in and play center. I don't know.
yeah. We don't have somebody on the practice squad.
I guess we're
Oh,
gonna get to them in a little bit. All right, that's the offense, son. Let's move to the defense. Now, this is where I was surprised between the defensive tackles and the edge. We have 11 defensive linemen. Let's start with the D tackles. You see the guys right here on the board. What stands out to you?
I mean nothing really. In bold is the starters? Did Isaiah
That,
Bud
that's
start?
those. Yes, those
He
are the
didn't start
predicted
last year.
starters.
He didn't start last year, right?
Bugs?
Yeah.
No, he didn't start. I
Yeah.
think he might have started a few games towards the end of the season, but he didn't start the beginning of the season.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think nothing really stands out to me, to be honest. I mean, I think the defensive line is just going to be very okay. Uh,
Right, right.
yeah.
Other than Bugs, I don't really see any pass rush up the middle. To be honest with you, I see a bunch of run stuffers, which is fine, but I don't
And can
see
they
any.
really stop the run? The Panthers game, jeez.
No, I know. We still having nightmares about that Panthers game.
I mean,
And
yeah,
these
that
are,
was.
with the exception of Broderick Martin, these are pretty much the same guys.
I mean, I'm sorry, we got to remember that offense was or that defense was historically bad. I'm pretty sure rush defense is like one of the worst rush defenses ever, or something like that. Like it was
No,
terrible.
no, no. You're not in that. That Panthers game was horrendous. It was. They ran all over the Lions in that game. So
Yeah,
we'll see if AD can come up with a game plan. As you see, the six edge rushers: Hutchinson, Harris, Kaminsky, Pascal, Houston, and Romeo Okoro. I don't. Oh, I didn't know that Julian got cut. Well, maybe he's on the practice squad. We'll see in a minute. I know that Julian Okoro got cut. I thought we kept him. Oh, it
yeah,
says something about him right there.
yeah. No, like the article says, I mean, the edges are obviously amazing. Uh, there's really not one of those guys that I don't like at edge, really. So, yeah,
I
I
agree.
think Aiden Hutchinson. Nah, Aiden, yeah, no, Aiden Hutchinson, because he did not get double digit sacks last year, but I think he's definitely going to get double digit sacks this year.
I
And
have
I'm
him at 11 and a half.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to talk about those picks and stuff. Maybe he'll get one, but I don't really care about that. I'd rather
Right,
have him have
exactly.
more. Dang, yeah, nine
Okay,
and a half. No, I'll give him. I'll give him 12 and a half sacks. I know that's
12 and a
insane.
half. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go with 11 and a half. Let me ask you a
somewhere.
question.
Yeah.
Out on the other side, remember you and I kind of talked about during the summer that they're probably going to use these other guys by committee to make basically one good edge. So between Harris, Kaminsky, Pascal, Houston, and Okora, how many sacks do you see?
Uh, I mean, shoot, I could see another 12
Combined.
sacks.
12 sacks with the five. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think the
That's
defense
fair.
ends are going to be real good.
All right. So we talking 23, 24-ish sacks for the edges. Okay.
Yeah.
I think if we can get that, that wouldn't be too bad. Linebackers. I was a little surprised that we kept six linebackers. Anzalone, Campbell, Rodriguez, Barnes, Reeves Maben, who I love, and Pittman. What's your thoughts on the linebackers?
Garbage. I mean, well, okay. I mean, sorry, I got distracted by something my roommates were doing upstairs, but uh, that's crazy. They don't have Malcolm Rodriguez starting. I guess I didn't
I
realize
know.
Alex Anzalone was that good, but I guess I'm not the coach. So
Right. Right.
maybe and I'm thinking maybe they have Alex Anzalone there for what the run, but no,
Well,
Malcolm Rodriguez is good in the run, and Alex Anzalone is not good in the pass. But you know he is a leader though, and the team is really young. I feel like I said that before. So you know, I guess the linebackers aren't absolutely terrible. I don't know Anthony Pittman.
he's a backup that we've had for a little while.
Wait, were the safeties on there or no?
Hold on, I just want to show you this if you could see it. That's probably why Anzalone is starting. I mean, he led the team in tackles last season.
Yeah, I guess. I would hope so. I guess he is
I
about.
guess so, right? He had 125 total tackles. Yeah, 125 total tackles. Followed by Deshaun Elliott, who we don't have anymore. Followed by Okuda, which we don't have anymore. Followed by Rodriguez, who had 83.
Yeah, yeah, but look at no. Yeah, I guess. I mean, no. I mean, I test. I think Michael Rodriguez is better, but
I'm not gonna lie. I feel that way as well. I think that he passed the eye test, but I don't know. Maybe he was just kind of the darling of last year. You know how that goes, and he's still doing good, but somehow they saying that, and now Jack Campbell is at least penciled in now as the starter. Uh, let's move on to the corners. We kept seven corners. You see them right here. They're saying Sutton and Jacobs on the edge with Brian Branch in the big nickel spot. What do you think about those guys and the guys behind them?
ooh. Wait. Oh, did they put the DBs on there too? Or no, they didn't put the safeties on there too.
Not yet. No, these are just the corners. So they're saying
Um,
that they believe that Brian Branch is going to start in that big nickel spot.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we're just going to be okay at cornerback, to be honest. I mean, I guess you could say that we improved from last year, but I guess we'd kind of just have to see him play I mean, I don't know about Jerry Jacobs being the number two, and I'm sure Brian Branch would do all right. I guess it'll be nice to see him because he should. He'll line up against Travis Kelsey sometimes, probably.
Oh yeah, he'll definitely be more in that big nickel spot. Yes, you'll probably see him lining up over the slots and over the tight ends. That's what I believe.
Yeah, it's just hard to give him evaluation because the only guy I really know is Jerry Jacobs. I heard Emmanuel Mosley is supposed to be back for week one, but Dan Campbell said he can't say for sure. I
Right.
mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, it's kind of like how I feel about receiver. I mean, I guess maybe, uh, I guess if Jerry Jacobs or I guess no, I mean they're both going to be good. No, I guess if Jerry Jacobs and Cam Sutton are both really good, then they'll be all right. Because
Oh, right.
yeah, because the safeties are going to be all right. But I don't think the corners. I don't think the corners are going to be that good. To be honest, that's what I think. I think the safeties are going to be really good. I don't think the corners are going to be good.
Yeah, Cameron Sutton is going to have to be the guy that we brought in from Pittsburgh. The reason they brought him in is because he locked down in Pittsburgh, and they're hoping he does the same here. So he's going to have to be that guy. I think Brian Branch, like we talked about in our draft show, he's going to be all right. Okay, let's move to the safeties. We were just talking about the safeties. Here they are, the starters. Gardner Johnson and Kirby Joseph being backed up by Tracy Walker and Melifonwu. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, this is the best. Jeez, I mean, I guess this is the best players we have. Dang, these are the best players on the whole team, pretty much. I'm not even gonna lie. These are the best players on the team. I mean, they're loaded at safety. Like they're so good that we'll see quite a bit of Tracy Walker, I'm sure.
Yes,
So I
we
like I
will.
said, they're gonna be just fine at safety. Really, I Kirby Joseph was talking about playing corner. I wish he would, but yeah, I think they'll be fine at safety.
I agree. And to be honest, the only reason Tracy Walker isn't starting is because Brian Branch did exactly what we thought he was going to do.
Yeah.
That's why, because he went in there and earned that spot. So now they move Gardner Johnson to safety, and Brian Branch is in that big nickel spot. Okay, let's move on to special teams. What stands out here? Patterson is the kicker. Jack Fox, followed by, well, we know Scott Daly. He's been here for a minute, the long snapper. We know Fox is solid, but what do you think about Patterson? What's your thoughts on Patterson?
Uh, I say I don't know nothing about him. I mean, I don't know why we got rid of the money badger.
I'm confused too.
I mean, shoot, because we've had some problems with the kickers ever since Matt Prater left us. So I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Did
Yeah,
we draft Riley Patterson or because that doesn't sound like
I
it?
don't even think so. He's been kind of hanging around for a few years, and so I'm not sure. But I guess we'll see, right? Okay, before we wrap
Yeah.
this session up, let's get to this practice squad, son. There are 16 players on the practice squad, technically 17, because this Max a Persher guy, I guess he's from overseas. This is something new to me that you get one international player on your roster. But but here are the practice squad players. Quarterback David Bly has been brought back. Running back Zonovan Knight. Now, this is what surprised me, son. I watched every preseason game, all three of them. I really was liking Benny Snell. And I'm not understanding. I didn't understand why he, didn't get brought back.
Well, what
Um,
position do you play?
yeah, I'm just not. I'm not understanding why Benny Snell didn't get brought back. Um, you see the wide receivers there.
Oh, he was a running back.
Uh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody should be
Uh,
brought up.
yeah. Drummond was okay. And who else? Let me see. What about the tight end Daryl Daniels is okay. You see the guards that we have. You see the OTs, the edge, Raymond Johnson the third. I don't really remember seeing him. You see the defensive lineman right there. Nowaski, he did stand out during the preseason. I'm glad that we have Chase Lucas back. Joseph did pretty good, and there's your boy, the Money Badger at 17. So, what is your thoughts on the practice squad? What jumps out at you?
Uh, Shoot, nothing really. Except the Dylan Drummond guy because they just signed him.
Yeah. Some people thought that he had a chance to stick squad. Now, that's our thoughts on the roster. But there are a few things that happened that I'd like to ask you about, son. One was Benny Snell. Like I said, I was very surprised that Benny Snell didn't make the team because I thought that none of the running backs looked good this season, to be honest. He was the only one who was kind of downfield running. I remember him from Kentucky. He didn't stick around. Now, what I want to say is that you remember back in the earlier in the summer when we were talking about the Lions and Isaiah Simmons trading. I remember when I was telling you, I said, why don't the Lions try to get Isaiah Simmons? Do you
Yeah,
know that the
I did.
Cardinals traded him to the Giants for a seventh round pick?
Yeah, I didn't.
For a
Yeah,
seventh round pick.
yeah, I did.
It's
Yes.
things like that does always puzzle me about our team. Like,
Yeah.
why were we not even like a 7th round pick? I'd have been willing to give up something higher than that for Isaiah Simmons, unless somehow in air because I don't watch the Cardinals, so unless somehow he's really just not cutting it.
Man, that's what some dude tried to say on TikTok. He was like, "Man,
Mhm.
he can't be that good." Like, but like, no, I mean, Cardinals fans seem like they were pretty frustrated with the loss, and they seem pretty confused as well. There was no way that
Okay,
that dude who runs a 4.3940 is not that good. Okay, like
exactly.
he gave a seventh round pick for him. That's madness. Like, I guess you could say you want to get rid of him, but that's craziness
Right.
to me.
Right, I agree with you. I mean, the kid literally played like 6 positions on defense in college,
Yeah.
and I mean, I mean, if that's all they want, the Lions could have gave up a 6th round pick and said we'll take a shot on that kid running a 4.340. Another thing is I want to ask you about is Jonathan Taylor. I know it's kind of old news, kind of being now, but the Lions, I never heard about them even getting into the sweepstakes or even thinking about trying. Do you think that was something we should have tried or not really?
Oh no, I don't think so. Just because who knows how much money he wanted and stuff, and they already got Montgomery and Gibbs now. So
Okay.
and I was gonna say that's probably the same reason why they didn't sign Snell because they barely brought back Craig Reynolds. So
Right, exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it's not like there'd be a reason to be angry if they got him, but I'd rather have them get a receiver or something.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess that wouldn't hurt anything, right? You
Yeah.
know, yeah, I guess trade it and try to get something. I don't know. Anything I suppose would have been okay. You know, but I mean, I guess really it just kind of is what it is. Uh, so pretty much that's it. I want to go over the schedule real quick. I thought about saving that for another show, but why not just look at the schedule now and just run through it real quick? And if you and I want to, we can actually come back and maybe do some type of a deep dive or something on the schedule. But I
Okay.
want to kind of just scan through the schedule real quick as we start back next week, and just let's just give some quick thoughts. And like I said, if we want to do a deep dive later, we can because we're gonna try to keep it at about 30 minutes. So we at 28 minutes in. Okay, so let's look at the schedule next week at the Chiefs. What we thinking?
Oh, I think it's going to be a major shootout, but I think the Lions are going to lose a really exciting game. I really think it's going to be like something wild, like 43-35 or something. Or no, not, it wouldn't be. It would be 42 or something like that. I guess I don't think 43 adds up.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be in the 30s. I'm thinking I wouldn't be surprised a 34, 31, 34, 30 type of game. Week 2, home against Seattle.
Gee, I didn't realize they were home against you. Jeez.
Hmm.
Yeah, people call man. And I'm saying now that the season getting closer, I'll be trying to say these games really aren't as gimmies as you think. I don't know
They
how
aren't.
head was gonna be. So I don't. I mean, I think they can win the game. I think they can win the game. I think it's gonna be a tight game though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and who knows if we get the Geno Smith from 2022? Who
yeah,
knows, right?
because I never seen him at
Now after that, this is where we're going to hit the stretch where I was telling some people I work with where the Lions should win every single game. Week 3, home against the Falcons. Week 4, Thursday night at Packers. Week 5, home against Carolina. A game that we actually will be at. What's your thoughts on those 3 games?
Uh, I yeah, I'll say yeah. Jeez,
Do you,
Falcons.
I
Wait,
mean,
the Falcons have Desmond Ritter.
they do. Okay, that's a good point I want to make. We're talking about Desmond Ritter right here, the Packers. We talk about Jordan Love first year. Here we're talking about a rookie in Bryce Young, and then week 6 we're talking about Baker Mayfield. These are 4 games right here the Lions have to win. These are like must-win games. At home against the Falcons, at Packers, home against the Panthers, at Buccaneers. What's your thoughts? I mean, I think they have to win all four of those games.
Yeah, I'll give them. Uh, I'm gonna give them all the games but the Packers. The only reason I'm giving them a loss is just because the Lions always pull something, and that will be their Lions loss. I think that Jair Alexander is going to completely shut down one of our receivers, and I don't think Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be enough. So I think honestly that game could end up being a close game, and I
Yeah.
think maybe they lose to the Packers. But I mean, that's that's just me calling a game just because I don't know if they'll win 4 in a row really.
All
Like
right, I
they
got you.
could, they could. Like I
They
mean,
could, but right, all right, I got you. Okay, week 7. Jameson Williams, Opa, first game at Ravens.
ooh, that's gonna be a tough game too.
Tough game, yeah.
Uh, uh dang it, all right. I'm gonna have to give that one an L too.
That's gonna be a tough one.
The
That's gonna be a
Ravens.
tough one.
I'm just saying that because they got Lamar Jackson and Odell now, and the Ravens. They've always had an all right defense. I mean, but it came down to the wire. We dealt with Lamar pretty good the last time
We
we
sure
played him
did.
too.
We sure did. And that was 2 years ago. He's 2 years older, even though he's still very young. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Okay, week 8, Monday night at home against the Raiders. I think that's an absolute win. I think the
yeah,
Raiders are going to be a bottom 5 team personally.
yeah. No, I think it's a win too.
Yeah, I think the Raiders are going to be garbage. Week 9 is a bye. This is going to be a tough one, in my opinion, son. Week 10 at Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them the win this game.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's gonna be a tight one because like you said, Jameis. I think Jameson Williams is the key to quite a bit. The
I
guy,
do too.
the
I
guy is
do
just
too.
dangerous, and I think he adds an element when you constantly have to worry about someone that can streak down the field. I think that if he can open up
Yes.
the Montgomery more, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
give him the win.
And Laporta in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I forget.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Week 11. Oh, right before Thanksgiving, home against the Bears.
yeah, I'm gonna give them a win. I'm calling a fluke on Justin Fields. I'm not gonna lie. I don't
Yeah,
think.
yeah. I think the Bears are going to be improved, but I have the Lions sweeping the Bears. Thanksgiving at home against the Packers.
Yeah, I give them the win.
Lions are going to get a win. I believe it too. Lions going to get a win on
They're
Thanksgiving.
pretty
Week
decent on
13.
Thanksgiving for the past few years now.
Exactly. Week 13 at Saints.
Yeah, I give them the win against the Saints too. Well, because the Saints, geez, who do they have at QB? I feel like they've had
Derek
trouble.
Carr.
Oh, Eh,
I think we can go to Cajun country, own that turf, and deal with them.
yeah, me too.
Week 14 at Bears.
Jeez, I just try to keep it. I mean, I think they'll beat the Bears too. I'm just
I,
trying to figure out because there always seems to be some shocker. I think they can beat the Bears too. I think they can go 2-0 against the Bears now.
if there's a shocker in here, I'm going to say it's going to be the Saints game because week 15, I'm gonna keep it real. Home game. I don't see anything in the Broncos that makes me think the Broncos are going to be that tough. I'm not saying this is a gimme game, but I think this is a game the Lions can win. Home against the Broncos week before Christmas.
Uh, yeah, I think I think they can win too. I think it'll be real tight. I don't think Russell Wilson's going to be nearly as. I mean, their defense is
Right.
good, and I don't think Russell Wilson's going to be as bad as he was last year.
I don't either. And the thing I like about this game, another game that we'll be at, is that it could be a flex game. That's why I say it's TBD because this could be a flex game.
Yeah. Jeez, jeez.
Week 16 at Vikings.
Well, I'm just going to give him the loss.
Okay, lost at the
Okay.
Vikings. That's Christmas Eve, by the way.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Week 17, Saturday night at Cowboys. Another tough game.
I'm going to give him the loss to that game too. I think that the Cowboys are going to be a lot.
Week 18, last game of the season. It's also could be a flex game, home against the Vikings.
And then, I think they'll beat the Vikings.
Me too. That's what I have. I have us splitting with the Vikings, beating the Bears twice. To be honest, son, you have us splitting against the Packers. I have us beating the Packers twice. I think that the game at home, I think that Jordan Love may get off a little bit, but I think that I think that we can beat the Packers twice this year. I think. But you actually are making me think when you said that Jair Alexander is going to shut down one of those receivers. And really, if the Packers are smart, I'll put him on whoever the number 2 guy is. I'll say whoever the number 2 guy is, just blanking.
Because I'm trying to say they don't. Yeah, it's not like you got to worry about Amon St. Brown going deep on you like that. So like you really don't got to worry about that. Like so that's
But
why I think they're going to have a problem until JMO comes back.
I'll say, we're gonna put it on Ben Johnson and see what he can cook up. Well, Lions fans, there it is. We are back. I know we've been gone for a few months, but the routine is going to be just like it was last season. We're going to recap every game, maybe not right after every game is over. Like by that I mean like the Chiefs game, because that game's going to be over with late. There's a couple other games that'll be over with late, but we're going to get in here. We're going to touch all 17 games and give our thoughts on our Lions. And son, did we forget anything, or is there anything that we didn't cover?
Oh no, I just wanted to say. I mean, even really, the last thing I wanted to cover is I know the Lions have before the season starts, and we always put the Lions under so much pressure and stuff. But at the very least, they should make the like even with the losses we gave them. What was that, like 5 losses or something?
Five, yeah, it was something like that,
Like
five or six.
that's me trying to be as realistic as I can. Really, they could lose more games and still make the playoffs. There's no excuse that they don't make the playoffs. I don't even care what their record is.
Oh, I agree.
They got to win at least 10. They should win at least. They have to win at least 10 games. They don't play. They don't play more than 7 teams that are better than them. At least I really don't
I
think
agree.
teams are better than them at all.
I have a feeling the Lions are going to get 11 games.
Yeah,
Um, so, but at least 10, I agree with you. They can't be under 10. Absolutely not. And they need to win the North, and I think that they will. The Vikings could surprise us because they do have a new defensive coordinator in Brian Flores, so that Vikings defense could be more improved.
yeah,
But I think that's really the Lions' only competition. I think that the Packers will be better than people think, and I think the same about the Bears. I just think that we'll sweep them both. So that's what I have on that.
yeah.
Well, if you don't have anything else, I guess that's it for now, Lions fans. I'll let y'all later. Peace.
Peace.